back to, how we have to play. And again, if this team gets, like, whether it's offense early, whether it's defense now or rebounding, it'll all come back to, okay, what are you guys emphasizing in practice? What are you getting done? It's a young team. And, so we went back to that. And today, because we play tomorrow afternoon, I probably can go about an hour and 20 today. And I'm going to try to jam in as much as I can as far as let's get down these habits. We got to start creating better habits. Yesterday, we didn't do anything on Florida. It just wasn't time. I mean, I've watched the tapes. They're really good. They got good size. They got a three-point shooting 4. Their guards are good. Their defense is they're playing – they look like my old UMass teams. I mean, they're giving you one tough shot. When you drive, you got 5 guys near you, and they're rebounding with 5 guys. He's doing a good job with that team, really good job.
What are you not doing on defense? What do you want to do better?
Well, we're getting beat on the bounce right away. We're stretching out too much when we don't need to be. We're not scrambling and rotating. I mean, it's not my man. What? So all that stuff, and it's typical of when things start to break down, you're just concerned about your own man. And, like I said, and again, let's talk, for 15 minutes we played. It was 25 minutes, and the world's coming to an end. And my point is, because we backed up off our defense, it led us to the Kansas game where if we could have guarded, we win. They couldn't guard us. We were just giving them baskets. And then when they started coming after us and we couldn't crowd the lane and all, things that we have to be able to do. And then rebounding. I mean, just frustrating when teams are getting 3 and 4 shots at a basket. And let me say this, best rebounding team in our league offensively is Florida.
There'd be soul searching the other night. What is that?
I mean, self-evaluate. You got to look at yourself. I mean, as a coach, I got to look at myself and just say, okay, what are we doing? How are we doing it? Is there a better way of doing this? And you got to ask questions, and sometimes you got to ask a different question than you asked last week. And so, as I look at this and as they look at this, I come back to, okay, I got to zero in on what we have to win. And then the other side of it for me is challenging these guys, holding the bar high, and doing it in a way that gets something out of them. And that means you're trying different buttons, different ways. And again, we're not – this is a game-to-game thing for us. I've got to worry about Florida. I'm not worried about the last game. I'm not worried about the next game. Let's just play well this game. If that's not good enough, we move on to the next game.
The officials been calling it tighter in the last couple games than it was.
I don't know. You have to – I know our fans watch the tape 3 times, so they'll probably give you a good opinion.
How's it different for Tyler this year with so much more workload, or last year you have to worry about pacing?
He's a better player this year than he was a year ago. I think the thing that he's got to figure out, this may be a 15-assist game because of how they play. Other games may be a 30-point scoring game because of how they play. That he's got to figure out. He's not an issue. He and I had a great conversation today. Tell me what you think. What are you seeing? What about this guy? What about that guy? How do we help this? How do we help that? Give me some ideas. And I said, how's the team? He said, we're good. He said, I'm good. And as long as I'm good, I'll get these guys right. And so it's nice to know that you have a guy that has that kind of mentality. So.
You said you were going to be more demanding. Have guys been more?
Yeah, and not in a verbal sense. Just like yesterday was a roughhouse practice. Marcus Lee was really good yesterday. I don't know. Don't ask me, well, why in the game? I don't know. But he was really, really good yesterday, to the point of like the old Marcus Lee earlier in this year. Will he be that tomorrow? And that's a hard thing about what we're trying to do coaching, because if he really does his thing, it kind of puts everything in a spot that we're good with. If he doesn't, now you're on the side scrambling. Who's next? How do we do this? What do we – just makes it hard. But you know what? That's a challenge of this. That's a challenge when the teams change. I'm not looking at this other than, I'm blessed to be here and have this opportunity, so I'm not, oh, woe is me. I'm not, ain't no way. It's just figure it out and accept the challenge of this and know that we can beat anyone in the country. And Jerry, we can lose to anybody in the country.
You're proving that.
And you're happy about that. So I would tell you, why are you looking at your feet? Yes.
What about Jamal's shot selection? Where do you think it is right now? Are you happy with it?
Getting better. I'm working on him every day. I told him I'm not changing. You gotta understand what I'm saying. I stopped him 10 times, both on defense and offense yesterday. I asked Tyler today, give me some ideas. Tyler gave me a couple ideas. I'm not going to talk to you about them. Of maybe this would make it simpler for him. He got to get to the foul line. Can't drive away from just go straight line like they're doing you. Do the same. But he's never played that way. So when you're asking a guy to do stuff that will change who he is as a player, but he's never done it, if it gets rough, they revert back to what they know best. But, we're working every day, and same thing with all the other guys. I mean, trying to figure out whether it's Dom or whether it's Charles, and, who else do we, just keep working with them.
You alluded to Mike White earlier, kind of doing a good job with Florida. What do you see any similarities, differences into what he's doing style-wise with Florida compared to Billy Donovan?
Well, the funny thing is they're running a lot of stuff. He probably went in and said, you know what, a lot of this stuff was really good and worked, and it was good for those players, and he knows Billy was a really good coach. So a lot of the stuff, they're doing some of the same things, some of the same actions that Florida's run in the past. But defensively and rebounding and he's doing it's old school. It's, they're doing a little phantom press that's, but the rest of the stuff is in the half court. We're giving you one tough shot. If you think you're driving it on 5. If you think you're posting it and swinging the ball and driving, there's 5. And then they all rebound. He's doing a good job. And I think now they're buying in and they're building their confidence. So we're playing a team that is playing as well as they've played all year.
What's the counter to a team that defends you?
You got to make extra passes. You got to screen them more. And I hate to say this, you got to make some shots. You don't have to make threes, but you got to make some 15-footers. You got to get your drives off of handoffs and pin downs and different things while they're still playing, because every bounce of the ball, they get closer to the lane. Bounce, boop, bounce, boop. Now you try to go, they got 5 guys in there. Each got a foot in the lane. So
Scal did get a couple of rebounds the other night. What did you evaluate his performance?
he's getting better. He's getting better. He's going to have opportunities and get in there and fight. I mean, look, we can teach, we can challenge, we can raise the bar. At the end of the day, you got to go in there and perform. And I can't do it for you. I can't fight for you. I can't battle for you. I can cover for you. I could say it's my fault. But at the end of the day, you got to get in there and you got to do it. And he's getting closer.
What was their mindset what you wanted it to be after the other night? Were their heads down? Were they mad, angry?
I think they were all really mad about that. It was really silent on the plane, and I think they're all mad. How in the world 21 points and again, I could say there were 4 or 5 plays in a row, losing plays, that I'm just going to make this. Why did you do this? Why wouldn't you do this? Well, I can make that. Yeah, you can make that 2 out of 10. We cannot win with that kind of shot. Did you have a chance to get fouled? No, I faded away. What happened on this simple cross screen? How did it? I fell asleep. You can't fall. That's the stuff that we're possession by possession they're learning. And I know they want to win, and I know they want to play well. They're a great group of kids, but I got to keep teaching. It's very tiring. You notice I'm back to exercising because I'm trying to make sure you don't find me under the desk in a week. I mean, every day is a new challenge to just keep dragging and getting on my staff to be enthusiastic, to add some energy, and then telling them stop. because I want the team to have the energy, not the staff. It's got to be them. And, you know, this is a process, and it's, you know, all we're trying to do is how do we get better. I can't tell you the way Florida's playing. They're playing really good basketball. We can only control where we are, and that's what we're trying to do.
Two more, guys. Has Isaiah shown you his value with the way he's played when he's been on the court and the way maybe you missed him, you know, when he was out with those cramps and with the foul trouble?
He didn't play very well against Tennessee. He didn't defend. You know, it was one of his worst performances. But all in all, he's guarded, he's rebounded. He's the one guy that shows toughness around the basket. He'll have our other big guys there, and he'll grab the ball from them and lay it in. And you're like, how did he get that? He's 6'3", 6'2". And he's just got a toughness about him. And he wants to win. You know, now we got to get him in the same thing, winning basketball plays. Why did you throw that left-handed? Because I can make that. I know you can, 1 out of 10 times. But if you shot it the other way, you will make it 5 out of 10, 6 out of 10. You can't drive late in the game and try to get fouled. You avoid the foul and make a pass or make a layup. You don't go in there late in the game and I'm going to get fouled. What? I can make those. I know. 35% of the time. We can't win that game. It's all what I'm trying to get these guys to accept and self-evaluate. What am I? Where am I right now? Where do I want to go with this? Okay, how do I get myself to that? What do I do extra? I mean, these guys are doing the breakfast club. These guys are, you know, it's just that we don't have the margin of error we've had in the past. And I got to accept it, and we all got to accept it. We don't have that margin. We got to play a heck of a game to try to win.
Can you afford to have Isaiah off the court in late game situations?
Yeah, if they're trying to foul him, yes, absolutely. Or run up the court, run, get off the court, run. Get away, just outrun the guy. He's trying to foul me. Run faster than him. Don't get fouled.
All right, thanks, everyone.